Good morning, Kittu. Uh, so today we are going to hear from you your reminiscences of your life journey on the auspicious occasion of Sri Aurobindo's 150th birth anniversary in the context of Sri Aurobindo's third dream of world union. So, before you start, Kituda, as we fondly call you, I would like to briefly tell our audience about you. Okay, welcome. Please have your seat. Okay. So, Sri Kittu Reddy was born in Andhra Pradesh in 1936 to Narayan and Meenakshi Reddy. He is the nephew of Late Sanjiva Reddy, former President of India. At the young age of 5, in 1941, he was brought to the Sri Aurobindo Ashram, Pondicherry, by his father, who was an eminent member of the Swaraj party, which was formed by Sri Chittaranjan Das, the famous Chittaranjan Das. Presently, amongst all of us, he is one of the rare souls who has had the opportunity of Sri Aurobindo's darshan physically, just like how we can see each other. How amazing it is. And of course, he has been personally blessed and guided by the mother herself. He has lived here in Pondicherry ever since he had all his education at the Sri Aurobindo International Center of Education, from where he graduated. He has been teaching at the same center since 1958. His subjects today are the foundations of Indian culture, the human cycle, the ideal of human unity, political science, social science, and history. Since 1987, he has been giving talks to the Indian Army on Indian culture, the mission of India, and motivation and leadership. In 1994, General B.C. Joshi, the then Chief of Army Staff, appointed him advisor to the Army Welfare Education Society. And Kituda is also the author of the following 3 books: A Vision of United India, Problems and Solutions; Kargil, A Manifestation of a Deeper Problem; and the third book, The History of India, A New Approach. So, with this, I would request Kituda to please enlighten our audience.
Well, my contact with Sri Aurobindo was entirely because of my father. My father was in college and followed the Gandhi movement. But he was very disappointed, and therefore he shifted to the Swarajya party because he felt that was more dynamic and more aggressive. And then naturally when he came in touch with the Swarajya party, he came in touch with C.R. Das, and C.R. Das was in touch with Sri Aurobindo, so he came in touch with Sri Aurobindo. And when he heard about him, then the Swarajya party sent him to Kannur for some work. So he said, I'm so close to Pondicherry, why not go and meet Sri Aurobindo, right? So at that time he was being spied upon, and there was a protest by the police. Sri Aurobindo wrote a letter to the Hindu saying that I am out of politics now, so we are not discussing politics. So he was allowed to come. I mean, he didn't stay here in any house. He came at noon and got a meeting and an interview with Sri Aurobindo for 15 minutes in the reception hall, in the ashram, right? In the reception room, not hall, in the reception room. And Sri Aurobindo was sitting on that sofa, and my father went and sat beside him, at his feet, And Sri Aurobindo told him that there's no discussion on politics. India's freedom has been taken care of. So that you need not bother. Now you must concentrate on your inner life, become ready spiritually to contribute to India, right? So they talked about the inner life. My father didn't tell me anything except that I was bowled out by Sri Aurobindo, right? And then he went back, and then he came back to the ashram. When the ashram was started in 1926, he wrote to Mother and Sri Aurobindo and came back to the ashram in 1927, sometime in February. And then he had darshan of Sri Aurobindo and Mother. I mean, he was lucky that he could touch his feet, because that was before the accident, right? But then Mother told him after about a year that it is better that you go back. You are not yet ready for the higher life, right? Go, get back to your family life, and then so he got back, and then he got married. We were born, right? Me and my sister. There were probably one or two others who were born but died early. And then in 1940, we had a clash with other members of the family regarding property. He said, to hell with property. I will go to Sri Aurobindo. So he wrote to Mother, and they allowed him to come. For 1 month he was staying on the Nehru Street. There on this road, further away, right? He was staying there. And they came in November, December 1940. And my mother asked the Mother, I am missing my son, can I have him or not with me? So Mother took a little time, she consulted Sri Aurobindo, and then she said, yes, you can bring him. So I remember only this much, that I came by train, and from train I came by a Jhatka horse cart, right? And there were two ladies with me, my grandmother and someone else, and one gentleman. We passed in front of Sri Aurobindo's room, and the driver pointed out and said, that is Sri Aurobindo's room. Then I went to my house, which is along this road, after the crossing, the next one, right? Second house. So I went there and I absolutely hugged my mother. I was also missing her like anything. And then she was very happy after that. At that time, my families were not allowed to live together. So my father was not there. So he came to see, but he didn't come to see when the mother was there, right? And that was in 1940 something, little later, right? 45 or 46, because mother started coming out of the ground in 1946. Ramana came to the ashram in 42 and 45. In 45 we settled down here. He was given an opportunity to go to England or America for silk business. And then he said, disciple of Sri Aurobindo, why should I be seeking after money? I will come here. And for some reason or the other, mother picked him up very early. And in 1947, when there was an attack on the ashram, a terrible attack, we were all children, we were sleeping in the ashram. At 12 o'clock at midnight on the Independence Day, Shahanadi and our group were to sing Vande Mataram in the next room to Sri Aurobindo. That had to be postponed because of this terrible attack. Communists and French citizens, ex-citizens and all that. And not DMK, but Tamil supporters, right? Spread rumors about Sri Aurobindo that he was against her, and really attacked the mother because she was French and suggesting that mother didn't want independence for Pondicherry, which is absolutely false. Anyway, we came and settled down. I was not allowed to see the mother till my birthday. So on July 2nd, I was allowed to go to balcony darshan. It was very close to my house. Then from there, on my birthday, I could go to the mother in the meditation hall, right? A bouquet of flowers. At that time, there were only Cuckoo was there, Aster was there, and a few others were there. And then going to mother on birthday was a very interesting thing. One man, me carrying bouquet, behind me 8 or 9 persons, friends carrying bouquets, and I'm giving them one by one. Mother will caress you, bless you, and a wonderful thing, right? And then we were playing, very young, there was no playground, so we used to play in that Duple statue, where now I think it is Jawaharlal statue. So opposite the pier, right, old pier. So we used to play there. And then 1943, the playground was started and the school was started. There were about 28 children. I got the list. I can send you the list afterwards, right? And then the playground was there. Then there was a godown in between. And then after that was a school. So the school was just beside Ravi Ganguly's house on the, I think, St. Louis Street, right? A small door to get in. There was a staircase upstairs and then there were rooms downstairs. We used to have our classes. And there was a lady called Pavita who used to live beside the dispensary. I didn't have her as my teacher, but she used to live in one of the rooms there, right? Long room, right? She was very popular. There was a man called Pran Bhai. There was a man called Manu Bhai who used to look after us, right? And then we, before the school started, mother was very considerate. She arranged for my English education on this road, just opposite Calvary College. One local man used to teach me English. In Treasure House, I used to learn mathematics with Venkatraman, not Dr. Venkatraman, another Venkatraman. Besides, Shishida used to live there. He used to tell me stories on Indian history, but it was in story form. We were very young and naive, but it made a very deep impression upon me. And then French I used to learn from Shattanda, who was living in the ashram. The staircase is there near Ravindraji's thing, so I used to live downstairs, where Jaleshwar used to live. So we learned French there. And I remember in 1945, from the father asked me, how do you speak such good Bengali? Because I picked up very fast, I was very good in languages. And I told him, why? Sri Aurobindo is my father. Naturally I speak Bengali. So that has got deep in Pranamgar is to remind me always, Sri Aurobindo was your father. No? That is a very clear indication of who you are, right? Anyway, but we used to play with the mother. Always divine did not enter our head, right? Then in 1947, I was 11 years old, before independence. We were playing, sabka thappa, chasing each other and all that. So while chasing somebody, I think it was Togo, but I'm not sure. I came near Nirodha's bathroom. And I was stuck. Mother was there at the vegetable section. And I was stuck completely. I could not go out and could not come in, so I didn't know what to do. Mother said, come. I thought I had a good scolding. Playing in the ashram, making noise. She was very kind. And then from the bulletin room, there was a man called Radharan. Siddhanand Bharati is his original name. Mother gave him the name Radharan. He used to come with a French poem. He used to write every day. No quality, but mother used to listen. Mother asked me, you read French? I said, yes. Read. I read. You must come every day. And he will read his poems. And that was the beginning of a very close relationship. So 11:30 school used to close, to come right across, sit on the, below the steps. And generally when mother used to come down, very heavy steps, drop, 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 drop. So as soon as we heard those steps, we turned around and got up. One day she came very silently. Couldn't hear anything. And I was telling them the story. Sindbad the sailor. When I saw Anantapur, he was smiling. Why is he smiling? I looked back, mother was standing there. So I got up. And then she stroked me on my cheek, and it was absolute bliss, physical bliss. The body used to be current to pass. And after that, I started coming every day at 11:30. School bell rang, I came running and sat there so that I can get that place. And Cuckoo used to be there sometimes. There was a chap called Birju, Agarwal's son, right? They used to come, but her mother selected me, Jamur, and Cuckoo. Used to, very tender, affectionate, and then, well, things went on like that. I literally fell in love with mother. I used to watch what dress she would wear, what color it would be. As you want, when you love someone, you watch everything, right? And whenever I could get a chance, I would come around because she would give us darshan, this darshan, that darshan. I would come and have a look at her. 46, she started coming to playground, December 2nd. Because on September 14th, Pranabla had put up a demonstration. And it was told that there were pyramids. So what mother said, what is pyramid? Pyramid is in Egypt. What pyramid he has done? Then Krishna made a drawing. And in that pyramid I was the top, but I was very light, very thin. I was very rickety. So then in the vegetable ashram one day, mother told Pranabla, he is so rickety, do something about it. So Pranabla said, mother, I will massage him every day with olive oil. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, he used to live where Manola was living. And I used to live just next door, right? Next corner. So I would come every day. He would take out all my clothes, massage me with olive oil, full 20 minutes, half an hour, then I would put on my clothes and go back. He said, why do you wear your clothes? You can come and walk naked from there to here. What is there? He said, no, I am not going to do that. I will come, I will remove my clothes here, you can do what you like, right? So then, sometime, I don't remember which year, there was an old Tamil house tiled roof, and there was you could climb up. But it was mother came 1 year when she was on the way to the service ground. She said, "I'll come to your house." I mean, it was very sudden. At 12 o'clock, we met her. She was climbing up the staircase. When she was on the top of the staircase, she looked at me and said, "Come on." Came up. "Today I am coming to your house." No time. 12 o'clock, she said. Had to go back at 4 o'clock. We had to get the whole house ready. The whole house was cleaned up completely, right? And my mother used to make halwa every Monday. And that halwa used to be sent to mother. Sri Aurobindo would take 1 spoon, mother would take 1 spoon, the rest, Pranabda, Chinmay and Divanbai, and a fair amount was sent back to my house. By that time it had become prasad. So one day she said, "I will come to your house." So at 12 o'clock she said, so we had to, in a hurry, we had to prepare the whole, clean the house and keep a chair for her. We had no good chair, so we got a chair from the furniture department, which was just beside my house. We sat them down, we brought the chair. She came in, Pranabda was there, Amyada was there, Pavitra was there. And I don't know whether Rishabh came in, but most probably he came in, and he was standing outside and doing pranam. Mother said, "Come in," so he came in. And then he, as usual, that halwa, 1 spoon, 1 spoon, and then mother started playing tennis. She came to outside the ashram in 1946 to the playground first. And there she used to play rings, or she used to walk, right? And there was a walking competition, not speed. You had to walk the full length of the playground, and your grace and style and all that. And I think it is Norman and Shane, brother and sister, right, who were from England, and they walked the distance. Mother gave them the first prize, very dignified. And it was Shane, I am certain, but Norman, I am not very certain, right? So that was there. Then, as I said, by 1943, more than 28 students came. School started. Abhay Singha was there. Even Narayan Singha was there. Ravi Ganguly was there. Kamarda was there. And then all our younger children, and we were absolutely at that time what you will call now P1, right? Because I was 7 years old, P1 or P2. And then the school started regular activities, playground, all kinds of loose things. And we used to have competition on the beach road, finishing in tennis ground. So 200 meters would be somewhere around the Ashram corner road. 400 meters would be a little before the exhibition hall. 800 meters would be just a little beyond the pier. 1500 meters was Park Guest House, a little further than Park Guest House. So there used to be running, right? And we were kids, so we were not allowed to take part, but we were allowed to take part in 100 meters, 80 meters. Then one day some funny thing happened. Pranabda explained to us in the playground the rules of walking. And one of the main rules was that your feet must, one foot must be always touching the ground. At least 1 foot. Is that good? So I came to stand the ground, 100 meters, sandals on. And I said, why sandals? He said, you wait. Then I started sliding. Not walking, sliding. And naturally I was very fast compared to those who had to walk, And one of that disqualified me. So that is not walking. So although the rule was what you have not broken the rule, but that is not walking. The heel has to be touching, and then the other heel has to be touching. Anyway, that was funny. Then afterwards, the thing moved to the playground. Then, I think in 1958, the sport ground was a paddy field. So we had to remove all the paddy and all that and clear up the whole thing, right? And I remember Bhakti and all of it, it was very hard. And then, because we were working with dirt, right? We had to eat with spoon. But he said, no, I will not eat with spoon, I will eat with hand. I don't enjoy my food. So it was referred to mother. So mother said, show me your hand. But he showed his hand, clean nails. I showed my hand, not at all clean. Mother said, you have to eat with spoon, or you clean it completely, and Bhatti can eat with, right? So that was the detailed interest that she took. Then in 1948, the tennis court was built because mother wanted it to play tennis. Before that, she used to play table tennis in Nantai. Then there was Pratt, Uda's house. Then there was Michelle on this road, right? So she used to play in one of these three places all the time, but mainly in Nantai, right? At that time, Manoj was not living there. So she used to play in Nantai. And I remember one incident much later. Puranaji was a very Munda wrestler. So he used to play table tennis also. Table tennis also was like wrestling, very vigorous. Then he told me, Kittu, now I can tell you, you are old. In 1946, you and Koku were chatting away in the meditation hall on cricket. Now, Indian team had gone to England, led by Nawab Pataudi. So we were chatting away like anything. So said Purani down. Who are those children chatting at 60 words a second? So Purani came down. He saw, he just didn't tell us when he was on the staircase. He saw us, went up and said, Narayan Reddy's son and Indrasen's son. And Narayan Reddy he knew because he had met him in 1924, right? And Indrasen he had met him in 1937 or 38, right? When he could touch. So both of our parents were familiar to him. And therefore we also were known to him. So then that was, Puranaji told me about 20 years later. Because he said then it did not have registered. And I was in tears. At least even if I have not heard Sri Aurobindo heard me. And he was very kind. And so then the days passed, mother started coming to playground and started playing tennis. I used to go regularly to watch the tennis. Wherever mother was, I would hang around her. Somehow or the other, when she came down, after there was no question of. So, we used to have how many darshan? 3 or 4 balcony darshan, then 1 terrace darshan. She would come over the one by room, then darshan at 9:30 or 9:15. Just when the school break took place, we would all come running there, right? And then in the afternoon, right? And then when she started playing tennis, that afternoon thing was stopped. I think so, I'm not sure about that. But she used to go to the tennis ground at 4 o'clock. She would come out from that staircase near Niradha's room. And before she came out, she would give Pranavda a big chocolate, 24 pieces, Cadbury. And Pranavda would take it, put it in his pocket, and then when they went into the car, Amiyala used to open the door always, to close it. Pranavda used to sit in front beside Pavitra. And at the beginning, that lady Chinmayi, she would sit at mother's feet. When Pranavda would open the chocolate there, she would give to Pavitra, he would give to Chinmayi something, and he would take. When he was eating one day, mother tapped him on the shoulder. Why not me? Give me also. So Pranavda gave to mother. It was such a friendly and sweet relationship, right? And then after, for 2-3 days he gave, then mother said it is not necessary. It's enough, right? And you give me first, then it becomes like prasad. Right? So then he used to go there. I used to go and watch the tennis every day. Then in 1950 we knew nothing. On December 3rd, mother did not come to the playground. Nobody knew why she did not come. That kept it a total secret. Because Sri Aurobindo was not well. He had uremia, kidney failure. On the 23rd it started, of November. They were thinking of postponing the darshan. But Sri Aurobindo refused, and they said that will not be, it will disturb the people. So he sat through the darshan, but it was hurried. So from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock or 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, very fast. Still we didn't understand anything. Very few people knew that something had happened. Niradha had kept it a total secret. But Champaklal used to never come out, so there was no question. And Niradha used to come out only for baths and go out. Because mother had told Niradha and Champaklal that one of you must always be around. Nobody, they must not leave him alone. So December 3rd, mother did not come to the playground. December 4th, she came back to the playground. Everybody thought, those who had some inkling, they thought everything is all right now. Then on the next day, I think it was a Tuesday, December 5th, my mother used to go to Padmasini, servants and hot water. So it was 3:30 in the morning. She came to know that Sri Aurobindo had left his body. She came and informed me. So naturally, I quickly changed. I didn't take bath, but just washed my face and all that. Went to the ashram by the main gate, climbed up, and I was standing, and Sutapa was standing in front of me. Sutapa was Pilu, who could live in Golkot, Parsi. And she was sobbing. Then I moved aside and I saw Sri Aurobindo. But what a body! Light emanating from the body. Nothing to cry. So I did pranam, stayed there for 10 minutes. Then we were not allowed to come actually, but I used to manage somehow. Take somebody, some excuse and go. I think I saw him about 10 or 12 times in those 4 days. And they had decided that they will put him into samadhi on the 5th evening. Because by rule, you can't keep it for more than 24 hours, and at night they can't do it. They found his body shining. So Mahasuri called the doctor, the French doctor, from the general hospital. I think his name was Monsieur Barbet. He came and said, not the slightest sign of decomposition. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. 9th in the morning, the doctor did not see anything, but mother saw a small spot. And mother said, no, it has to be put down in samadhi. Buddha told mother, no. I have seen Saint Francis of Assisi. His body became grey. He became thin, but his features are all like Sri Aurobindo also will do that. Don't put him in a samadhi. Mother said, what you say is right, but I want you to put in a samadhi. So Mother Uddha was happy. He was not arguing, but not agreeing with Mother. Then Mother said, I give you an order. Do what I say. So that is the first time I heard Mother giving an order, right? Otherwise she always would ask you and try to persuade you and change you, right? So then the samadhi was put, and then she said, no, you must make 2 chambers. So I said, why? She said, no, why? You just do what I say. She had decided to go. When that will be decided. And in 1948, she told Prananda in front of Sri Aurobindo, I want to go. Mother said. Sri Aurobindo said, no, you are not going. You are staying and you will complete the work of sacramental transformation. So you have to stay. My body is not yet ready for that. Your body, you have played sports, you have done all these things, right? So your body is a little more ready for that. So Mother said, all right. What Sri Aurobindo decides is always the final thing. No question whatsoever. So Sri Aurobindo left his body at 3:30. I came as my mother told me, and I, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, then they brought him down. Mother was standing on top of the Niruddha's room, on the upstairs there. The body was brought down the meditation hall. I don't know how they brought it. It was a very heavy, what is it called, casket or whatever it was. They brought it down the meditation hall and then kept it there for some time in the meditation hall right in front of Amritsara's room. And then from there, I don't remember who was there, but I think it was Chandubai, Chandrakant. Prananda was not there because Prananda was Amyada, Konakda, some of the stronger men at that time, right? They came and they put it into samadhi, the tired ropes, and slowly lowered it down. We were all children standing and watching, right? And then after that, first man to put sand was Navalida, Amrita, Amrita, Suresh Chakravarti. You know Suresh Chakravarti? Moni, they used to call him, right? He was a colleague of Sri Aurobindo in 1906, 1910. And so some of those people put, then everybody was allowed to put. Then we came, right? We as children came and put a little sand. And for me that was something which was very moving. So next morning, 5:30, I was in Samadhi. And for years together, around between 5:30 and 6, I used to go to the Samadhi and do pranam. Then he left. And as I said, I began to stop only on the 9th, when we were going to the tennis ground in a lorry to bring sand. So when I passed into the room, I said, oh my God, now that room is empty. That there was a pang, you know. Anyway, it happened. Then the mother was coming. Now in 1950, April 24th, we used to walk in front of the ashram for mother to come from the playground. I used to walk with the Buddha, or sometimes I used to sit. Minodi used to sit with me. You know Minodi and Maveri. So Minodi used to sit with me. We used to chat and very friendly. Minodi was much older than me, but she was very fond of me. And so one day, instead of sitting, I was walking. And the Buddha asked me, why are you here? What for have you come? Big word, I said. Realize God. What realize God? He said, if that is what you want to do, then mother wants that every child should write to her every day all the wrong movements that have taken place in her. Not physically only, physically, in thought, in feeling, in everything. All night I couldn't sleep. So next day I went and asked mother at 9 o'clock, but can I? She said, yes. I'll be very happy if you do that. You wait, I'm coming. She went into her room and brought a small notebook, tiny little notebook. Said, write in this. I began to write. But then every day to bring the book back home and then so I used to keep it in the Buddha's room. And then I saw that people would start reading. Then I said, I will not write everything. I will tailor everything. I will just write that I had bad thoughts or a feeling of anger towards this person. Well, not even towards it. I had a feeling of anger, but nothing more. In the evening, when she used to come back from the interview room, she used to come back, I used to meet her every day, and I used to tell her all that was happening in me. She was the only person to whom I could tell everything, because she never scolded. She would try to explain to you, she would try to tell you, no, don't do these things, right? This is bad for you. And very rarely would she be harsh, right? So you see, ultimately you have to change. I can help you like anything. Sri Aurobindo will help you, but you have to decide. So, okay. So we went through all that period, difficult period, right? There were lower nature movements, not too much, but still it was there. Then in 1954, I became the tennis champion of D group. At that time it was called C group. I became the tennis champion. So when I went to the Prosperity at 3 o'clock, no, at 10 o'clock, we played in the morning at 6:30. At 10 o'clock she told me, today you are playing tennis with me. Your partner also will play tennis with me. Very good. That was a blessing. So I went, she called me first. Usually she used to call Sumantro and Manoj, because they had to go to the band. So they would play first. Then Chandubai, Chandakant and Kanakda, Robi and all that. That day she called me and Jyotindra first. Jyotindra is Tara's brother. So we played tennis with her. And for a few days she called me, then she stopped all of a sudden. And the remarkable thing about her was that when I was having certain psychological problems, I didn't tell her anything. I was having my own inner struggle. She would call me regularly. For an whole month she called me. When I became all right, she stopped calling. I don't know how, I didn't tell her anything and all that, right? So, well, we did that. I used to, every month, after 1951, in October, I used to tell her, Mother, I want to do some work. 2 hours or 3 hours. So she used to tell me, go to the atelier. Atelier was at the ashram. That was where Chong's room. In that room, that was the workshop. I had to go and I had to do what is that, filing and all that, horrible my handwork. My instructor was Bikash. I don't know if you remember Bikash. Bikash and Sumantro, they were very good friends, right? They used to stay with Gigi, Kiran Kumari. So then in October 1955, she said no. I came to see Gautam's exhibition in 1955, to Golconda. And it was this side, 2 rooms, big rooms. It was Mother's objects of which she used in Japan. So she came to Gautam's room, who was in the 3rd room. She saw, and she said, oh my God, that house, Parikshit's house, cracks. So in October, when I went to her, she told me that you have to break that house, pull down the house, and rebuild the whole house all over again. You, Mona and Visheshwar, no servant. My God. Whole day we used to work. I used to go in the morning at 6:30, work till 8:30, and then go to school, and then come back at 12 o'clock, at 11:30, eat my lunch. At 12:15, 12:30, I have to go back and work there. And then suddenly Mother sent a message that I am coming in 1957, April 24th, to open the house. Oh my God, we had to work like mad. So Mona, Visheshwar, myself. So Mona was captain. He called the whole D group. So whole D group from 4 o'clock to 6:30. Plastering, bricklaying, say what you want, right? I can do all those things even today. I can plaster nicely. I can lay bricks, right? So we did that. And then after I finished, the house was finished, they told me you work in the drawing office. I went to the drawing office, started working there. Then I think we were down to Lake. And Joshibai said, what are you doing in the drawing office? You must teach. You're an intellectual. In fact, Manoj pushed Joshibai. And Joshibai said, yes. So I wrote to Mother, I said, I can't decide. So Mother will decide. Mother said, yes, you start teaching. So in 1957 December, I started teaching. And I remember in that whole room, on the ground floor, beside the art room or whatever that filter is there, beside that there was a small room. And my students were Sudhara, Sitanshu, Sudanshu brother, and I think Indura, some people were there. No, Indura couldn't have been there, somebody else. Anyway, and then next year, without informing me, they gave me 8 periods of mathematics. And Vishranta didn't like it at all. He said, why is 8 periods of mathematics? Sir, I write to mother. So I wrote to mother. Mother said, no. If they have given you, take it. Next year, Sanatha made me a history teacher. Class 10. At class 10, I will teach history. So there was a book called Haze and Moon, Ancient and Medieval History by Haze and Moon. Started teaching that. And then they said, why are you working in the drawing office? You are meant to be a teacher. So I wrote to mother. Mother said, yes, you teach. That is yours. And then I remember later, I don't remember which year, we started getting grants on the UGC. So I used to keep the accounts. And, this much bought for a cupboard, this for this, this for that, this for salary of teachers. It was a computer salary. It's all to go to mother. So I started doing that work. And then Amrita was very fond of my work. He said, he was very good at accounting. So I will make him the chartered accountant of the ashram. I said, it all depends on the mother. I write to mother. So I wrote immediately. He took it up to mother. Mother said, non, je considère ton travail comme professeur à l'école beaucoup plus important que de devenir a chartered accountant. So, finished the idea. So I became a full-time teacher. Then I started teaching, as I said, mathematics, history and all that. Then in 1967 the higher course was started. And I started teaching the higher course. And since I told you that in 1951 I used to write to mother every day, I used to tell her everything. So all my problems, 1962, and mother had a massive heart attack. And it was on a Friday. And next day, Saturday, we had a meeting in the school, and Poitrada told us that we thought that it is the end of mother's physical existence. She will not survive. We became all right, pouring with love coming into her. And 1972, I put up that exhibition on Sri Aurobindo, homage to Sri Aurobindo. Every photo, every writing was sent to mother. She touched it, she saw the writing, she blessed it, and I put it up. And it was opened on 12th of April, 12th of August by Nolidida, Andhra and Kirinbai. Nolidida cut the tape, Andhra opened the door and Kirinbai went in, and we had to put the words respect, sincerity, adoration, right? And that was put on the left side wall. There were only 2 rooms at this time. A long room there and a small room left side. So we put that and we put the exhibition. And people were in ecstasy. And I asked Chunilla to come. He wouldn't come. Then I told Jumo, you force him to come. I asked Satprem to come, he wouldn't come. Sudhata, used it, you come. They came there. Satprem walked in there, didn't see much, just walked in. There is nothing to see. Sri Aurobindo is here. His emanation is here, I can feel it. Nothing to see. So then on 30th August or 31st August, I wanted to meet the mother. She fixed up 31st August. I went to her and told her, she said, Sri Aurobindo is inside you now. He is got into you because you have loved him. And when you love someone, you become part of him. And so now, you don't need my help. He is there all the time with you. And he will tell you when to come to me and when not to come to me. And then in 1973, Tanmaya started going to the mother at 7 o'clock in the evening. till I joined, and I joined a little later. Till 29th March 1973, we used to meet the mother regularly. Then that day, Kirit told mother that a student has got smallpox in the school. Mother said, you must not step in here anymore. That vibration is not right. She stopped seeing everybody. April, for some time, she was seeing Nalini and the secretaries and Shyam Sundar. In May, she fell very unwell. May 20th, her stomach was, she lost control. Pranabda was sitting outside on the terrace. He was called, he ran in, he found that mother was very disturbed. Put mother on the bed, she wouldn't move out. She wouldn't eat. Because she was afraid if she eats, then she has to go to the bathroom. So she wouldn't eat, and Pranabda had to shout at her. And the people downstairs could hear. They could hear her in the school. And then he got angry. They said, what is this? Why is he shouting? And Pranabda said, look, if I did not persuade her to eat, she would have died. And then I couldn't see any sign of transformation. And then everybody would blame me. Unfortunately, my voice is loud. And I had to, speak loudly to her. So ultimately, then in May 20th, she was, no, I want to walk. So one day they brought her down, and she almost collapsed. One of the put her back. Regularly, she said, I'm getting paralyzed, I want to walk. Pranabda said, no, mother, we can't obey you. And Champakalal and Pranabda and Kumud, they decided that now we will not obey the mother. Because if she falls down and breaks her head, whom will they blame? Me. Right? Because I am looking after the mother. I am spending 16 to 18 hours with her. Only 7:30 to 11:30 I go and do exercise. Otherwise I am there all the time. Half an hour I go out a little bit. Right? So, well, then 10th November she was falling ill, and slowly she was withdrawing. From 10th onwards, she became very obedient. According to Pranabda. And there are some people who have written that we bullied her. She had to be obedient, she had no choice. And then Pranabda said, look, they don't know what they're talking. See, they were not there. If she fell down and broke her head, then they would blame me. If I don't hold her, now they are blaming me. So I can't do that. And slowly she was eating. And then they found that she began to nod her head in a funny way. Coming and going, and then hiccups. Hiccups was there for a long time. On the 10th, it was almost always there. Lunch it was there, dinner it was there. That was something which Pranabda was very unhappy. He told me that, don't tell anybody she is going. I know I don't want it to happen. I am praying like hell, but I can't pretend that. So, 17th night, 7:26. And then I was coming out of Kamna house, it was Saturday. Niradha was coming running. Pranab is there. I said, no, he's not there. Anyway, I will go and see. I went and he was not there. And then he saw Bhatti was cycling. Bhatti go and call Pranab. He went to his room, he was not there. Tara's room, he was not there. Then he went to that other house of Tara. Pranabda was there. Pranabda was called immediately. He took his cycle, came there, went upstairs. Kumud had opened the door. And Dr. Sanyal was already there. feeling the pulse. Then Prananda went and sat, and mother lay on his lap. He was feeling the pulse. It was getting shorter, breaks, less pulse, less pulse. At 7:26, Sanyal declared that she has left her body. Prananda didn't know what to do because the mother had given instruction not to touch her body for a few hours. Till 11 o'clock they didn't touch. At 11 they cleaned the body, put over the colloid, changed the clothes. He called Loretta. Loretta saw everything. And Loretta was very tense because he had to call Prananda. No? Why? What is the matter? That day was his birthday. As usual, he gave a party in the evening. But his mind was not there. Somewhere he was disturbed. Then, when I saw Prananda running like that, Loretta running like that, I felt something very uneasy. So I sat there till 10:30 at night. And at 10:30 this door closes, so I came back. But I was sitting up. At 2:30 Mona came and called me. Prananda had called him. He brought the body down. It was in his hands, right? They had prepared a bed below. Bulada, Kumud, and some others. Put the body there. And then he called us. We went. Go and call everybody. So Manoj was sent to the photographers. I went to Udar, very near Madhav Pandit. Udar was very upset. Why? I said, come down now, don't talk. We'll see. Then I came down, I told him that he's shocked. Then I went to Kunuma. Madhav Pandit heard it immediately. I went to Kunuma, he was awake. He said, I know. I knew it was happening. Then I went to Pradita. And that lady, Daddy was there, right? So she was very upset. I went up to Pradita. He collapsed immediately. So they put him on the bed. After 5 minutes he recovered. He was crying like anything. Then they brought him to the ashram. Then I went to Shamsundar and I went to Kirinbhai. Then I went to Ratnadi. And I came and told my mother and the whole family. Then I took my bath and went. And then we were on duty all the time. And we had to be there till the 20th. And on the 20th, Prananda told us that we will be one of the standard bearers. So Bhatti, myself, Manoj, Mantra, Gangaram, somebody else, and Babuda was there. It was very heavy. So we put it in the, roads were tired and slowly we put it down. So one whole chapter was over. But as I said, and I strongly believe that when I am in perplexity and when wrong movements enter them, now I'm too old to do anything wrong, but when they enter, I immediately call Sri Aurobindo and the mother, and I get the answer. So that is how it is. Carrying on, I don't know how long it will go on. There are times when I feel that, I am on the way out, many times. And in May, Bharati was very seriously ill. She was sitting on her bed on Tuesday. She fell unconscious. And Srikant was here. We had to take her in a chair to the general hospital, then to the nursing home, then to care. Then ultimately she has come back. Now she looks all right. But one never knows. One never knows about me also. And I am prepared for it. One day one has to go. So when that day will come, we'll see. But I will go back to Sri Aurobindo. That is certain. Sri Aurobindo and the mother is the same thing. There is no difference for me. I will certainly go back to them. And it is a miracle how at the age of 5 I came here. It was nothing but grace and divine grace, right? Mother's grace and Sri Aurobindo's grace. Now if you have anything to ask, you can ask.
See, many people had wonderful experience of having darshan of Sri Aurobindo.
Mother has said you should never speak about, right? But I have told you already that I feel them in my heart. And when I am in trouble, it is the same thing with Bharati. Lavanya is not expressing, but I believe that she also, very deeply, right? And Bharati listens to mother's music every day. She reads mother's books all the time. I read, at one time I used to read 6 hours a day. Now with my eyes gone, and it's a little difficult, I can't read that much. But I have nothing else. Mother, Sri Aurobindo, a little bit of Ratnati, because very deeply attached to her, it has been blessing to the mother. And well, that's all. And when I go to Anantapur, I think a little of Anantapur. That's all. And been there a few times because she was there, so I used to go there.
In few days it will be Sri Aurobindo's birthday, 15th August. 15th August, Sri Aurobindo's birthday. So how we should approach his birthday?
See, there is only one thing that you have to do. That is, try to be constantly in contact with Sri Aurobindo, which is impossible unless you are in contact with a psychic being. So the only message that you can give is, go within, whenever you have the time. Whenever you are working, do it as an offering. Whatever you are doing now, do it as an offering. Whatever I am doing now, do it as an offering to her. Right? And when we do this as an offering all the time to her, and offer it to the mother, day in and day out, night in and night out, then the world tends to come together. Because all those who feel that way, because you emit a vibration, and that vibration is not limited to the house or the room. I mean, I'm told that when I go to Anantapur, they say, such a powerful vibration there, and now there's a permanent vibration. Many people say there is no need to go to the Samadhi, we can do pranam here, that is enough. I said that is all right, but whatever it is Samadhi, that is something far beyond our, right? And this coming in contact with the psychic being, becoming one, because the moment you are in touch with your psychic being, you cannot dislike anybody. You become, and one thing which Mother said is, which I have given it in Sri Aurobindo's action, that whatever happens, however somebody might have insulted you, even kicked you, do not bear a grudge in your heart. At that moment, you might have to react, do something, whatever has to be done, but it's for you to decide. But do not bear a grudge in your heart. All the time, never have any ill will towards anybody. Always turn towards the Mother, towards the Divine, right? And it will come temporarily, then it goes. And once that happens, the whole world is yours. And that is how you can say that world unity is there. So the message is, get in touch with your inmost being. If not possible to get in touch with the inmost being, get in touch with your psychic being, higher mental being, right? And from there, if you get to the higher mental being, constantly, little by little, automatically you will get into the psychic being. Yeah.